You already know I am.
Okay,
You already know I'm voting.
perfect.
18. I'm 19 though, but I'm registered, so I turn 18.
And there's a saying: if you don't vote, you don't count.
Yeah.
So I don't think I've ever told this story on here. But in high school,
Yeah.
in 10th or my junior year, I went for 10 days to the South to learn about the civil rights movement.
Ooh,
There was a group called Sojourn to the Past. A gentleman from Cappuccino High School up in San Bruno started this program, and then turned it into a private company where they take students from not just the Bay Area but a lot of other places, and they take them to the South to learn about civil rights and the civil rights movement by going to landmarks and meeting important people. Minnie Jean Brown, Tricky, was on my bus the whole 10 days. I don't know if you ever heard of Brown versus Board of Education.
Nope, but I never
So
heard
Brown
of that
versus
yet.
Board of Education was the order by the Supreme Court to desegregate schools and integrate. And that's based on her.
Oh,
And the Little Rock Nine, she was on my
the
bus
Little
the
Rock
whole
Nine, I
10
heard
days.
about that.
One of the Little Rock Nine was on my bus the whole 10 days, man.
What?
These historic people I got to meet. I got to march the Edmund Pettus Bridge
Ooh,
in
that
Selma
was interesting. Oh, the
with
Selma
Congressman
Bridge
John Lewis. He was the one that marched hand in hand with
with
Dr.
MLK.
King
Yeah, Dr. King.
and got beaten on Bloody Sunday.
Damn.
I'm getting emotional even talking about it, not teared up, but I'm it's just taking me back to being there.
It's crazy what they had to endure
Yeah.
during that time.
To bring people of all color these rights. Listen, if it wasn't for the black people specifically from the South that fought for civil rights, all people of color in this country, brown, black, beige, whatever, would not be having the rights that they have today.
Exactly.
Point blank, period. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And history isn't like a huge subject for most people, you know what I mean? But
No,
for me, it was the only one that I was good at.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's just important to tell those stories, and that's why for me voting is important.
Yeah.
I met the oh man, you can put me on the spot. I forget their name. Jeez. Oh, I met the Damer family. They were in Mississippi. There was a wealthy man, and he was very light-skinned black man, you know what I mean? But he was black nonetheless. He paid for all of the people in his county to go get to pay for their voters ID tax.
Okay, that's
because
good.
that's a way that they were making it so that people of color couldn't vote.
Oh yeah,
because they had no money to pay for their voter
and
ID.
especially in the areas of low income, people don't really have money to do that, so they create different laws and stuff for us not to vote because they know that our vote counts the most.
So to combat that, he paid for all the people of color in, I believe it was Hattiesburg, Mississippi, to pay. He paid their tax. He paid for them to go vote. And you know what the local clan did?
What they do?
They burned his house down and murdered him. So I met his family. I met his descendants, his children and his grandchildren.
Damn.
And they're the ones that handed me the form to vote. And they're the ones that told me, if you don't vote, you don't count. It sounds nice.
That's giving me chills.
It sounds nice from somebody to say, oh, if you don't vote, you don't count. But when you meet a civil rights leader where their family is the reason why we're able to vote.
And that's where the history that's where the history comes in.
100%.
That's where the history
So if there's anything I could tell y'all out there, please vote. Even if you don't like the candidates, vote at least on the measures. Vote at least on the laws. Vote, vote. If you don't vote, you really do not count.
And that's something that I'm just now really they say voting matters too, and voting is good, but you should really educate yourself on who you voting for.
Yeah.
Don't
just
saying?
vote
Not
on
just
something
vote
because
just
it
to
sounds
vote.
good.
You know what I'm
somebody
saying?
told you it's the right thing.
And I don't know everything when it comes to politics, and I feel that, I need to go and further educate myself more and go look at the historians and the political leaders, like how you experienced. That's something that I would love to go endure, and
Definitely.
just look at.
And that's kind of what this podcast is about, too. Talkingshift. It was about shifting our minds, shifting society to something, better. I'm not saying I'm gonna do it right now, right here today, but hopefully over time we could do something, make a
Yeah.
difference. If we could change one person's mind, man, that's worth it to me. You feel
Yeah.
me?
Hell yeah.
But
Cause you can't kill an idea.
hey, man, like
Hell no.
I had a dream. It's still here. They still are.
It is.
Yeah, man. Craziness. I was at that place. We went to Stone Mountain, Georgia, which is where the Ku Klux Klan originated. And they have the equivalent of a Mount Rushmore for the KKK. They have the 3 people that started it on a huge mountain, just like Mount Rushmore. This is in Georgia. So
this is something that I was never taught in school either.
When we were there, the very first day the group was there, we sat there, looked at that at night, and they played the Martin Luther King "I Have a Dream" speech, played it off of that wall, and it was an emotional trip, and it was a really life-changing trip. I realized that to educate yourself, you don't have to just listen to your teachers at school. There's plenty of ways to educate yourself.
And reading is the most important one.
There's reading, there's podcasts, there's documentaries. If you like me, like reading is just never came natural. There's audiobooks, but the point being is you need to educate yourself.
Like Vice.
Vice.
Hey,
the thing about
one.
Vice though too is Vice is owned by Fox and Viacom, so
it is. Oh,
they all have their own agendas too.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
So just be knowledgeable about those types of things. Just know.
Well, I'm glad that you educated on me about that one, and see, I learned something new from you. You learn something new from everybody every day.
Hey, I learned something new from
it's
you.
Networking.
What? Yeah,
see, networking.
That's what this podcast is about. Just like I said earlier, meeting new people, meeting cool people, spreading ideas, spreading positivity, and hopefully, inspiring change.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So what do you hope to what do you hope to inspire with Disabled Gang and your videos? What do you want your message to be, man?
So my message for people is to just basically be you and don't change for nobody. You know what I'm saying? Love who you are and love the skin you're in. Because from all the bullying and stuff that I endured, if I would have changed my arm and fixed it, I probably wouldn't be in this predicament. I probably wouldn't have been able to help all these people or plan to help all these people with Disabled Gang, you know what I'm saying? Or tell that person, like, hey, look, you got that disability. I can tell you how to gain confidence or give you the right tools, you know what I'm saying? Like, love your disability.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's what makes you unique.
What was the first step for you to loving your disability, man?
One of my first steps to loving my disability was my mom. She just always taught me to just love myself because it makes me different. And every time I would just step outside, I would just look at myself and look at others and be like, you know what? Even if I don't speak to them, they gonna remember me. And I just look at that like a positive thing.
That's true.
And it might come and save me.
That could.
You never know.
Hey, man, you stood out in my head, definitely, man.
Yeah.
I saw you a couple times before I ever even got the chance to talk to you, man. And I was always like, there's a reason why we met each other, maybe, man.
No, it's a reason for everything. Hell yeah.
I'm not I don't know. I have varying views on higher powers and God and things like that.
Yeah, me too.
I don't know that I don't believe it, but I don't know that I believe it. You know what I mean?
I don't know. Me, I'm how can I say this? I don't know if I should say this on air, but I see.
There's just sometimes though where I'm like, God, there's got to be a God. You know what I mean? There's sometimes when certain shit happens and lines up where I'm like, there's no other way that this could
ain't
be
right.
than God, or
it has to be. Yeah.
Hey man, maybe that you ever heard of that what's that theory? Simulation theory? Have you ever heard of that?
Yeah, I believe so.
Sometimes it seems like that too, though. Life be weird like that,
It do be weird, man.
Yeah, brother.
It's hella weird.
Well, shit, man. I don't know. Charlie, did you have anything that you wanted to? Any questions, man? Did I not touch on anything?
No, I'm pretty sure. It's just like shout outs or anything.
Oh yeah, man. You know what? You need to let everybody know where, your socials and where they can find you on YouTube.
Yeah. So my Instagram. So this is my social media. So my Instagram is Reckless Cii, Reckless, and then Cii Cii, and then my videography page for my Instagram is Cinematic Cii, Cinematic with a K, Cii. And then I want to give a shout out, to my mom, to Devin. I want to give a shout out to my boy Devin. He out there in the Middle East right now.
Oh,
You know what I'm
damn.
saying? Fighting for us. So I want y'all to send prayers and blessings his way. Make sure
Man,
he come
back
home
safe,
and
man.
his people with a safe return.
Yes,
You know what I'm
yes,
saying?
100%.
With Devin, Jamie,
Stop saying
Dewey, Zaire, all of them. You know what I'm saying? Them was my day ones right there. Them my guys.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, shoot, and shout out to Miles, man,
Yeah,
for
my
helping
mama,
get you out.
yeah.
Man, she tight. She
I
seemed
love
cool.
her. I love my mom. She the reason why I'm here.
You know what? Now that let me ask you about that, actually.
Yeah.
When did you first get into cannabis? Like, when did you first try cannabis, actually, for medicine?
I first tried cannabis for medicine when I got 18. It was for like a video I seen on YouTube, and then I went to like a friend's party, and then I seen them smoking.
Why you got to smirk, though? I feel like you smoked before that, boy. Fast smirks.
Mama watching this.
All right, never mind. He was 18. He had his med card and everything. Hey, man, you know what? I think on that note, brother, we gonna have you back for surely.
Hell yeah.
I can't wait to be able to show my people, show all the my what should I say, not my followers, my fans,
Yeah,
the watchers, the viewers,
family.
the family. There we go.
Oh,
the
yeah.
the Shift family. I can't wait to show them your story, man, and spread
And I
some awareness
appreciate
about
that.
your condition. I don't even really want to call it a disability. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, you haven't let it disable you at any point, and you do.
I appreciate that, man.
Man, you just don't. I hope people can realize that he's doing with essentially one hand, one arm.
And also too,
what people with everyday faculties are doing. So if you guys can't cut it, y'all are being lazy.
hell yeah.
What's
and
up?
also too, in basketball, bro, I want y'all to see my half court basketball shot, cause man, my 3-point shooter, deadly.
Uh-oh.
It's deadly, bro.
It's
deadly.
We gonna see
and
that.
I got an arm. I got an arm like Mahomes, bro. Like,
Man, I can't even shout him out after that. Hey, we gonna have to go. I'm gonna have to link with you, man. Make a video.
Yeah.
We could go test some weed out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Bring Chuck through.
Hell yeah.
We could do something cool.
And I could roll up for y'all too. You know
Yeah,
what I'm
since
saying?
I'm garbage. Man, I'm like the only dude in the Bay that can't roll a blunt, huh? Shit. Well, hey, man, it's your boy GM, Charlie, Cinematic Cii.
Yep, your boy Sai.
Man, if you guys could shoot us a follow, check us all out. Disabled Gang, man. Follow, like, comment, share, subscribe. Hit that notification bell on that subscribe.
You already
You know, we gonna have this whole thing up and running here soon. We getting it. I hope you guys like how we do it broken down now. Man, I'm kind of stuck. It's your
That's
boy
that
GM,
weed.
Talkingshift. Shout out Cavi Cone, Elevated San Francisco.
Yeah.
Yee!
Shout out Talkingshift for having me on the episode. You know what I'm saying, for the podcast. They the real ones.
Yes, yeah, man. Yes. Charlie, anything? Say something.
Something.